Raider Nation, what's going on? This is the Raiders Report. My name's Mitchell Renz. Let's hop right into that Raiders news. Jon Gruden hasn't talked to Khalil Mack. Well, at least not so recently, and I think we can all agree that we want Mack back, and I think Gruden does too deep down. So, Jon Gruden and Khalil Mack don't talk often, but they have spoken at least once over the past 6 months. At least that's according to Gruden. The fact that Gruden hasn't spoken to Mack lately isn't necessarily a bad thing, and that's because he's not the one trying to get Mack into training camp. Raiders general manager Reggie McKenzie is the one who has been handling negotiations with Mack's camp. Mack is currently holding out a training camp because he's hoping to land a ludicrous contract extension. The 27-year-old, who was named the NFL's Defensive Player of the Year in 2016, is hoping to get a long-term deal that includes a substantial raise over the $13.8 million he's scheduled to make in 2018 under the final year of his rookie contract. All right, Raider Nation, I want to say thank you so much for tuning into the Raiders Report. And if you guys, really like the show, and I'm sure you definitely do, I wouldn't mind you guys hitting me up on YouTube. You guys can hit me up on Twitter, @MitchellRenz365. And anytime you guys want to get in on this action, you guys should definitely subscribe to the new Oakland Raiders Report on YouTube. And you guys, it's called the Oakland Raiders Report. And for the people who are watching on Facebook, you guys can like Oakland Raiders by Chat Sports so you know exactly when I go live. Okay, that was my little humble plug of mine. Now we're going to hop back into some high-quality Raiders news. Moving on from Vadal Alexander. That's the Raiders. Yep, they're moving on from him, and that's exactly what Jon Gruden said. So, on Monday, Gruden had this to say: "We will move on from offensive lineman Alexander in the next few days. Oakland placed Alexander on the reserve, and he did not report last week. Alexander was suspended for 4 games for violating the league's performance-enhancing drug policy, but he still is permitted to practice and play in the preseason. The 2016 7th-round pick played 24 games and made 9 starts for the Raiders the last 2 years, but Oakland spent its first 2 picks on offensive linemen, so Alexander faced a challenge in making the roster anyway." All right, last bit of news I got for you guys coming up, and this is a good one. Raiders signed running back James Butler. Well, another running back added to the Oakland Raiders team, and I'll be honest, I'm a little bit surprised. But the Raiders signed undrafted free agent running back James Butler. Butler joins the Raiders after spending his rookie minicamp with the club this past May. Butler played 1 season at Iowa after transferring from Nevada, appearing in a total of 47 games. Over his 4-year career, he totaled 699 carries for 3,712 yards and 28 touchdowns on the ground, while also registering 53 catches for 485 yards and 3 touchdowns. The Raiders have debated cutting either Jalen Richard or DeAndre Washington, so this signing did surprise me a little bit, but if this is a guy who they think could maybe be an asset in the passing game, maybe that's the reason why they ended up adding him to the team. Raider Nation, thank you so much for tuning in to the Raiders Report. My name is Mitchell Renz. You guys can follow me on Twitter, @MitchellRenz365. I talked about my news. Now I'm going to get into some rumors, and if you're new to the show, you need to understand my Raiders rumor scale. 0 Chucky heads, tuck rule, tuck that. This one's not going to happen. 1 Chucky head is a small shred of truth. I like to think 25% chance that this is going to happen. 2 Chucky heads, people are talking 50-50 coin flip. 3 Chucky heads, pretty likely, 75% chance. And then 4 Chucky heads, believe it, baby. This rumor is 100% gonna happen. Okay, Lena, send me to those Raiders rumors. Gareon Conley, he's not gonna be ready for week 1. I'm gonna give this one 2 Chucky heads. People are talking. Now, so much hype around Conley this offseason, and I've been one of the guys leading the train. The Oakland Raiders quarterback Conley missed his 3rd straight training camp practice on Sunday with a hip strain, and while Coach Jon Gruden said he did not have a timetable for Conley to return to practice, he did say it was, in quotes, a fair assessment that he could miss a few weeks. Conley has seen briefly during practice on Monday afternoon working on the side of the field with the trainer, doing a resistance band work. In his absence, Daryl Worley has been getting first-team snaps at cornerback. Now, obviously, this is not really what I'm looking forward to, but Conley, the Raiders' first-round pick in 2017, was limited to just 2 games as a rookie due to a shin injury, and he suffered during the offseason last year. That cost him most of the season, and if this is an injury that's going to cost him most of this season, guys, I'll be honest, I'm worried. My fingers are crossed for Conley. Okay, next rumor I got for you guys coming up on the board. Raiders are Super Bowl ready. Whew, man, I'm going to give this one 1 Chucky head, small shred of truth. Now, before you guys kill me, we're going to pump the brakes. I think the Raiders are doing great things, but this one is a rumor from my dude here at Chat Sports, Cam Rogers. Now, Raider Nation, again, please do not kill me. I wasn't the one that said this. I like the Raiders this year, but are they Super Bowl ready? I don't know. Now, I think they could definitely make a leap, sure, because, I mean, let's think about it. They were 12-4, and Derek Carr was an MVP candidate in 2016, okay? last year they had a lot of struggles, and if this year, if they can improve their team, well, I think they could ultimately be pretty good. I mean, we see right there, Cam predict them to win the AFC West yesterday. Again, that's one of those things. I like the Raiders. Super Bowl ready? That's a different story. But the show isn't just about me. Are the Raiders Super Bowl ready? I want to know from you guys. You guys can comment it below. If you guys think the Raiders are Super Bowl ready, say yes. If you don't, say no. And also, tell me why. I like to hear actually like the reasons behind certain things. So, are the Raiders Super Bowl ready? Okay, next rumor coming up on the board. Jon Gruden showing granny film. Heads up, though. I'll be honest. Do not Google granny film. You're going to find the wrong thing. I learned the hard way. This one, though, is for Chucky heads. Believe it, baby. Now, oh, man. All right, seriously, though, don't Google it. Oakland Raiders head coach Jon Gruden is apparently mining old game film to prepare his team for the 2018 season. Raiders tight end Jared Cook told reporters Monday that Gruden pulled out a video from a game that appeared to take place in 1970s. This is what Cook had to say. He's bringing up film from like 1976 when you don't even think that they had film, like granny film, where you can barely see the players. But what I really want to know is, just because this is old film, is it actually like worth it? Like, are they understanding it? Cook said absolutely. It's the things like that that Gruden is introducing to us that we've never had before. It's pretty awesome, and I tend to agree with that. Okay, Raider Nation, this is probably our biggest rumor coming up on the board. It's Raiders. Are they going to trade Khalil Mack? You guys are going to have to find out after a word from our sponsor, Mizzen and Main. I'm going to give this one 2 Chucky heads. People are talking. Now, I personally believe that the Raiders will do whatever it takes to sign Mack, but Mike Florio thinks the Raiders could trade Mack. Gruden did say that the defense wasn't that great, even with Mack last season. He said that on Monday. Now, there isn't a lot of progress in terms of talk between Mack and the Raiders. Okay, Florio wonders whether the Raiders have the financial wherewithal to give Mack the contract he deserves, opting instead to string it out on a year-to-year arrangement. If the team can't afford to give Mack the kind of guaranteed money necessary to sign him to a long-term deal, and if Gruden will be dealing with that reality and indirectly downplaying Mack's value to the team, the Raiders should simply trade Mack to a team that can and will pay him what he's worth. Those are Florio's words, not mine. But, guys, I want to know from you, do you think the Raiders, or I want to know, how mad would you be if the Raiders ended up trading a guy like Khalil Mack? Khalil Mack is obviously, I would argue, the most important guy on defense. You could argue he's the most important player on the team. So, would you be mad if the Raiders traded Khalil Mack? Yes or no? That'd be greatly appreciated. Okay, next rumor coming up on the board. Amari Cooper gained weight. I'm going to give this one 4 Chucky heads, and it's believe it, baby, because, yeah, this dude, he gained some weight this year. But I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing because, I mean, let's be honest. Muscle weighs more than fat, right? So, Raiders head coach Jon Gruden appeared on NFL Network on Monday night to discuss a number of different issues surrounding the Raiders franchise, and one of them, which is interesting, was a quote on Amari Cooper. Gruden noted that Cooper was up to 225 pounds, which is 14 pounds heavier than his current weight last year. Now, he needed to get stronger so that he could beat cornerbacks off the line of scrimmage with power. Some cornerbacks like to force receivers to be physical at the line of scrimmage, and now Cooper should have the strength to win those battles. I've stated my love for Amari before here, and I think he's going to be a major bounce-back candidate in 2018, and I like the fact that he added weight because, well, he struggled against press coverage last year. Okay, last rumor I got for you guys up on the board. Marshawn Lynch, is he going to have a breakout year in 2018? I'm going to give this one 2 Chucky heads. People are talking. Now, there's no doubt that I think Lynch has a chance to break out, and last year he finished the season really, really strong. I mean, we're talking about 424 rushing yards over the last 5 weeks. That was top 5 in the NFL over the last 5 weeks. The offensive line, better. I think they addressed a lot of needs this offseason, adding veterans. The coaches have already come out and said they really want to run the rock. Now, again, the offense should be better. I think Derek Carr going to be better, which should lead to more overall opportunities. And the thing that really excites me is Lynch slimmed down to 232 pounds to handle the workload. He wants to be in better shape. He wants to get the rock even more. But, show, not about me, right, guys? So, over, under, 8.5 rushing touchdowns for Marshawn Lynch in 2018. If you think it's over, give me a heart. If you think it's under, give me a like. And also, I wouldn't mind if you guys told me why. I always greatly appreciate that.